What's up, everybody? Boys and girls, children of all ages. Whatever. Ain't no children wrestling me, or they even listen to me at that matter. This is the XP Podcast.
Expendable potential.
XP Podcast. But John Oliver has some key points of how the wrestler's been treated. I don't know now, but it's pretty much the same shit. I mean, in the wrestling business, you are an independent contractor. You're an independent contractor. Not only okay, look, you're not an independent contractor because you don't have the freedom to go to different events outside the WWE. But I have seen Tony Nese wrestle with House of Hardcore. I saw him on Twitch last week. Then I see him at WrestleMania. I thought Tony Nese gotten released or he asked for his release. Really, I'm like, oh shit, Tony Nese is he's independent now. Like he's working with the independent promotions. But no, that's not the case. If you saw John Oliver's um, views on the WWE, like I have, because I was late in the game and watched now. He has a YouTube channel, so I watched the whole full 22 minutes. I think that was the duration of the excuse me this what's what's the word I'm looking for? The segment of the show. It's about like 20 plus minutes. And you just as you look at it, you can't help but to agree with John Oliver is saying. WWE has treated the talent very shitty, as only the talent that don't make Vince's some money. But it's like a scapegoat to label them independent contractors where they are actually being treated as employees. I mean, you have an exclusive contract to the WWE and only the WWE. They tell you where to go, how to shit, how to eat. you know, hey, get out of my damn garbage, you dog. Sorry, I got a puppy in my room. Anyway, yeah, man, they tell you where to travel, who to work with, where to work with. I mean, they treat their people like employees, but hey, they label them independent contractors. And stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. Damn dog. I had some chicken rings earlier, and she smells the bones. It's in my garbage. She's trying to get the shit out my garbage, and now she's just staring at it. Anyway, and what I was saying. Oh yeah, and then you label them independent contractors. Hey, I know why they're not any health insurance with WWE superstars. I mean, they putting their bodies on the line every day. I mean, they're going to become a liability with the company, which is going to cost them millions of dollars if one of them get hit, if they do have health care insurance, If you're a wrestler, you have to have your own health care that you have to pay out of pocket, which is, it gets expensive if you don't have. If you're not an Uber millionaire, your health premiums probably is going up every year because I guess that your job is more so of like a stuntman quality. I'm not sure, um, but in a way, I kind of feel that John Oliver hit the nail on the head. How there's storylines and how Vince McMahon behavior has been in previous interviews. I don't know about now. Really, I haven't seen Vince McMahon in an interview since back in the day. They showed Vince McMahon being agitated with the interviewer's questions, and he slapped the papers out the interviewer's hand and says of a jerkly behavior towards the journalist that's interviewing him. But it's all on record. It's on video. I mean, that was his behavior. You know, but the things that I don't agree with about the wrestlers that died before their time and stuff, and WWE has the highest rated deaths of former wrestlers is like pretty much most of the wrestlers were done with the with WWE, and and when they're have their like given their release, of course they have to go to other promotions just to make money. And then they're at the point where they retire, and it's just it is what it is. But I think the wrestlers that has wrestled under the WWE banner gotten most of their concussions in the WWE because that's where they've been for quite some time. But there was a numerous of wrestlers that died young, but like when they died, they was probably several years removed from the WWE. So I don't know. Owen Hart is the like the conception. I think that's the word I'm looking for. That's like the genuine article of deaths in WWE because he died at a WWE pay per view. That's the only exception to the rule. That's the word I'm looking for. That's the only exception to the rule that wrestlers die before their time. It was Owen Hart, and then you had the Ultimate Warrior. He was on WWE contract. He was he just signed a contract to become an ambassador. And then when he got home, he took like several steps in his driveway to the walkway, and then he collapsed as cardiac arrest. And then when you see his performance on that very night on Raw, you knew something was wrong with Warrior. I mean, he looked very fatigued to me, like he was tired. You know what I'm saying? You should see something was wrong with Warrior. Well, who else? King Kong Bundy was the latest death. I wasn't old enough to fully appreciate King Kong Bundy. I was 6 when he was in WWE, or 5, I think. It was the mid '80s, and he was just this big giant ass heel, you know. And as me being so young, it was like I've never fully appreciated the work of a King Kong Bundy. He was always being pushed as this, bastardly heel with Hulk Hogan, and Vince McMahon kind of conditioned us to boo him because he was the heel from Hulk Hogan. You know what I'm saying? He was the adversary of Hulk Hogan. So I never gave a damn about King Kong Bundy because he was a heel, and plus I was like 6, I think, when I first saw him. He wasn't like Vader. That's another wrestler that died. What the hell was this? Where's that phone at? God damn it! Hold on. Okay. Back at it. I totally forgot I had a house phone in my room. Anyway, it was a call from my grandmother. I'm helping out my grandmother, feeding her every day and stuff like this because she's 95 years old. She can't do as much as she did. But you help out family. Anyway, yeah, Vader, he was. Now, I knew a little bit from Vader from his stint in WWE, but I didn't know that he was a big megalo star in WCW. He held the WCW championship. The title was different because I think that was the time that Ric Flair was in WWF at the time, and he took the world championship, the big gold belt with him. So WCW had to create their own WCW championship belt. But yeah, he ended up dying. I think he died of cardiac arrest. I'm not sure. Now, hold on. Let's see if I can. Ooh, shit. Goddamn. Okay. My vape failed. Okay. So, you. I got the internet right in front of me, too. Vader. Google Vader. Big Van Vader. Big Van Vader. Leon Allen White. June 18th, 2018 is when he died. Oh, wow. So, let's go down to his personal. Okay. White was considered one of the greatest super heavyweight professional wrestlers of all time. He used his size and weight as part of his moves, making them look much more painful than were performed by someone half his size. His finishing move, called the Vader Bomb, which is a corner slingshot splash, when he would bounce off the middle rope and land on a prone opponent. Also, despite weighing 450 pounds, he was able to perform the Vader Salt, a moonsault of a backwards somersault jump off the top rope, a move that requires a lot of agility and usually performed by cruiserweight and junior heavyweight wrestlers. That was his professional wrestling style persona. Anyway, his health problems, it was partially due to alcohol abuse and travel. White and his wife divorced in 2007, inspired him to quit drinking and curtail his travel. He had double knee replacement surgery, resulting in a wound infection, and was bedridden for 6 months. Soon after recovering, he passed out during a plane trip to Japan for an autograph session, and he was in a coma for 33 days, during which he lost 112 pounds. Damn. He was skinny when he died, huh? Or well, smaller. He lost over 100 pounds. In November 26th, White was involved in a rollover car accident and left him unconscious, and for 35 minutes, being diagnosed with congestive heart failure. Yeah, that's what I thought. That was 2016 though. Anyway, he consulted two heart doctors who told him he had 2 years to live. He later received another opinion that was more optimistic. In March 2017, an interview with the two-man Power Trip Wrestling podcast, where explained that he regretted tweeting about his diagnosis. He stated that he would continue to wrestle. Also said that if the test was proven to be true, he would like to die in the ring. May 2018, last year, when he went for heart surgery, followed by another treat of hold on, I got it. What is this word? Oh, there it is. Hold on.
Arrhythmia.
Arrhythmia. White died on June 18th after a month-long hospitalization for pneumonia. He was 63 years old. In a month before his death, White was frequently visited and supported by fellow wrestler Sting. That was nice of Sting. I gotta turn the air on. It's hot in here. After buying this fucking AC unit that's in my window, this is actually the best purchase I ever gotten before I got laid off or after I got fired from the casino. That was the biggest thing I ever bought, the last best thing I ever, and I'm glad I got it because years prior, I was dying in this room, man, because I live on the East Coast, Maryland to be exact, and it gets so humid out in these streets that it was like, I don't like being sticky. I don't like being hot. I'm more comfortable in a cold, or not cold, but chilled environment. Anyway, yeah, so that's one death that happen outside of the WWE, but certain wrestlers is being related to their work in the WWE. That's why WWE has a higher rate of deaths, you know, more so than NFL, baseball, the MLB, NHL, whatever, all these sports leagues. I don't know. Oh, and also, there's no unions. I can see how a union could be detrimental to a company because then you have an outside source telling you what to do. You know what I'm saying? That's why certain companies don't like unions. But unions can be either a godsend or a detriment. Sometimes unions don't do shit. They just want them union dues every month. Or some of these unions really want to help you out in the development of your job. You know, I don't need to go through what unions do because pretty much a lot of people are smart enough of what a union can do. Jesse Ventura um, had the notion of bringing in a union, and then the word got back to Hulk Hogan, and Hulk Hogan snitched to Vince, and then the whole idea was dropped. I think he got fired that day too. I like Jesse Ventura. You know, everything he speaks, even though he's a conspiracy theorist, he hold on, he's a conspiracy theorist. It's everything you hear from his mouth. It's like it's valid. Gotta drink some water here. So, yeah, there will never be a union in professional wrestling. There would never be a union in professional wrestling. I don't know why. NFL got players union. You know, NBA got players union. How come WWE can't have a players union or a wrestlers union? But there's some light to that because AEW is giving their wrestlers health insurance. How come WWE can't give their wrestlers company paid health insurance? I know for a fact that if one of their biggest stars get hurt, yeah, the WWE can pay their bills and take care of them. That's only I think the wrestlers that makes enough money to put asses in seats. Those wrestlers get treated good. But I don't know. It's really poopy. It's a sensitive situation. I mean, the WWE asked for John Oliver to be present at WrestleMania so he can fully see how different the company is now. But no, why would John Oliver do that? The only thing WWE can do is, like paint a lot of smoke and mirrors to hide the fact that everything John Oliver said about WWE is correct. That's what companies do. They will paint a perfect picture, provide a lot of smoke and mirrors, hide the fact that everything that, I'll say it again, John Oliver's statement is true. So it don't make sense if John Oliver is in attendance in WrestleMania, you still treating your talent very shitty. I mean, look at your storylines, how you put these wrestlers in these predictable situations where it make them be silly or not as awe-inspiring, or maybe you're not using the people for what they're worth. Really, that's why I stopped watching wrestling. The main roster really. I think I'm waiting for AEW because if AEW comes into effect later this year, it's going to be awesome. I mean, probably watch All or Nothing next month. I think it comes in like mid month in May. I think. I'm not sure. Hold on. I'm right in front of the computer. All or Nothing. When is that coming? It's sold out. It's been sold out. May 25th. So around Memorial Day. Around Memorial Day, that shit is gonna come out. So it's gonna be live at MGM. Anyway, so yeah, I can't wait to that shit to come out on TV. Um, Saturday. I'll be off from work. That's awesome. I gotta see how much that shit costs on pay per view. Hopefully, it have some like type of deal where I can stream it. But anyway, it's gonna be a little short little podcast thingamajig. I hope that your Thursday is awesome. I'm I said this time next week I'll be back on the job because I did my PTOs just to help out my grandmother because my parents is going well they're on vacation right now, so I traveled from my house to my mom's house and I'm spending a week to take care of my grandmother. But anyway, y'all have a good Thursday and Friday, and I catch back with you whenever. Peace out.